WrestleBuddy Podcast. All about wrestling. Subscribe and follow for more content.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleBuddy Podcast. I'm your host at True Critch. I'm here with Maddie.
Hey, y'all can find me at Matthew_Laws_. It's great to see y'all again.
And
Over
Harold.
to Harold.
Hey, it's me. It's TRC. You can find me at WrestleBuddy.com or at my own Twitter at TheRevCupid61. And we're coming at you live.
Hello, I'm Griffin. Find me on Twitter at GriffinK1 and on Instagram at TheGriffinK.
So a lot to talk about. We are winding down with the virtual / less huge crowds happening in WWE, and then going on to bigger crowds. Almost we're less than 2 weeks away. And let's kick it off with Raw this week. We got it started off with a battle royal to take Randy's spot. For some reason, Randy could not compete in the last chance qualifying match. And we had a battle royal with leftover superstars, and Riddle jumped in for Randy. And we had a tease of Damian Priest almost winning, which I was like kind of excited for. And it led to a great triple threat match to end the night. What do you guys think about the battle royal and the triple threat, Maddie?
It really confused me as to why Riddle had to jump in and take the spot. Priest definitely could have done something great in that match. I understand that Riddle was trying to get Randy's spot in the ladder match, but yeah, it didn't make too much sense to me. The Rumble to get the spot made sense to me. The ending kind of was confusing.
Yeah, I really
Good match,
like.
though.
Yeah, they kind of teased us with Damian getting that final spot, but Riddle got it instead, adding more to their storyline that he's trying to impress Randy and not get him upset. Hopefully sets up them eventually winning the tag titles. I think I've read that at a live event coming up, they're facing the tag team champions AJ and Omos in a live event soon. So hopefully it goes that direction, and then later on to like a big culmination at a bigger feud.
That'd be good.
Yeah, and that triple threat, like I thought it was going to end and just kept going and going, and they beat the crap out of each other. Like, I thought that was a great. They're squeezing in a little bangers in the Thunderdome before they blow it up in a couple of weeks. And
they've definitely been lighting it up on Raw. Ricochet and John Morrison was
that's
that spot.
Yeah, the whole double count out, the big freaking dive over that you don't, which I was thinking, like, why haven't they done more stuff like that where they just dive into the crowd, since they don't have a crowd to dive to? But
and Ricochet's got distance.
Yeah. Yeah, really setting up the men's side of the Money in the Bank ladder match where Drew got the final spot. A lot of people thinking a lot of backlash with that, with Drew getting another opportunity to potentially be a number one contender or be the future WWE champion. Griffin, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre in the main event scene. I feel like he's winning the title again in front of live crowds. I feel like they're setting that up at some point, building up Lashley further so that Drew can potentially win the title back in front of a crowd which is robbed of at Mania 36. I don't think he'll win the ladder match. I think Big E might have a chance of that other match,
as we'll discuss later on SmackDown. But yeah, I feel like Drew shouldn't win the Money in the Bank. We'll see how the crowd reacts when they're doing those teases of who could get the briefcase. I think Drew will eventually win the WWE title in front of a crowd, but right now, let's put him aside for now and let's let Lashley let loose, and hopefully let's see another new star come out of the crowds returning. And then we had more of the Dewdrop storyline where she teamed up with Eva Marie and faced Asuka and Naomi, where we saw her get a victory on. Well, like we got a little teases between Asuka and Piper. I'll call her Piper, not Dewdrop. And it got me excited. Like, can we have a full-on feud with her and these people? But yeah, the storyline with Eva Marie. Harold, what's your thoughts on that?
Why?
Before I get to Griffin, who obviously has something to say.
You know what I mean? Why? Like, they should have brought her in on her own without being a sidekick of Eva Marie, number one. She's got a lot of talent in her own right. I don't think she should have been put in that position. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to please the boss, right?
Griffin, you were shaking your head a lot through that. What's your thoughts on that?
He pinned Asuka with a crossbody. It didn't look great. It made Asuka look little. I don't have an issue with opening Asuka necessarily, but it made Asuka look very weak, I think. She was only women's champion a few weeks ago, maybe months ago, but I'm not sure about this.
Yeah,
I do like the idea. I do like the idea of her eventually turning on Eva Marie. You know, sort of brainwashed and then turn on her. I like the idea of that, but it's all I'm building up to. It's not working, I don't think.
Yeah, I think the payoff's going to be Piper snapping and taking out Eva Marie, which I'll 100% love. And
Eva Marie shouldn't win that feud, though. I know Eva Marie's.
If she wins that feud, I'm going to rant. I'm going to have my own rant video after that.
Okay, they re-signed her, but like they need to know what they have. Like, they don't have a great wrestler, but they have someone they could like what they were doing with her before she got fired. Like, oh, I'm not gonna wrestle because of this. I'm not gonna wrestle because of wardrobe malfunction. Like,
yeah, thing is, those 2 or 3 weeks towards the end of her before she got released, really some of the best work she's done. So just great heat gaining stuff.
Yeah, just you don't have to make her a wrestler, just like make her like super like overrated, and then just to get people to hate her. Like, you
have a
work
bunch
around,
of people talk her up.
Yeah, work around her, like knowing that she can't work, and that's I'm excited to see where that goes. Well, like where the Piper ends up.
I think that's why they brought her back, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, to help newer stars like Piper. And then we got the rising star of Raw as of late, Nikki Cross, potentially changing her name to Nikki Ash, almost a superhero, which is interesting. I think that Ash might be a sign that Karrion Kross could be coming in. They don't want 2 crosses on the roster, even though a few years ago they had like 5 Erics on the roster: Eric Young, Eric Rowan, Eric from the Viking Raiders. But yeah, I think I love how they're building her. I think fans are gonna love this once the crowds come back. I think no matter what Nikki does, people are gonna enjoy this, and it's a new star waiting to happen. And yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Maddie?
I genuinely think that whenever crowds come back, which is just a few weeks away, as soon as she comes out, there's going to be a massive pop. Whether WWE chooses to run with it is another story. But I think back to like the Hurricane bringing Rosie as like his sidekick.
Superhero,
and if you remember,
training.
Yep, it literally translated to a shit.
At least it's better. Ash is not super inappropriate.
Nikki Ash isn't super inappropriate, but yeah, it might work. I want to see how it works in front of a crowd, and like I said, WWE could totally just take it and drive it into the ground. There's like a big merch grab or something.
Yeah, it's one of those things. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, what have we done to her, sort of thing. But the fact that it's her idea and she enjoys doing it makes it, I think, that's much more enticing to fans, much better quality. People can go at it, but it's not supposed to be serious. It's not like she's being main eventing, so it's a memorable gimmick. It's probably going to work for, I think.
Whatever gets her on
Wanna
TV
put her in the
and
Hall of
gets her
Fame.
wins. It's whatever gets her on TV a lot of times. Like, she was out of TV. She wasn't doing much. Like, she kind of like they got her losing the tag titles, and then she disappeared from TV. But now she has something. She's relevant again, which I love. I love Nikki Cross. And my final point of Raw was Kofi's promo. I thought was amazing. You see the heart in him, and I'm just like, this is so cool. Seeing Bobby Lashley and Kofi Kingston main event a pay-per-view, I absolutely loved it. Like, makes me really excited to what could happen if somebody on SmackDown wins the Money in the Bank to avenge his brother. So I'm really excited to see this unfold. And any more thoughts? It was cool. Raw. They know what Money in the Bank is going to look like, so they aren't trying to do anything drastic as of late.
They're capitalizing on the excitement of the pay-per-view. I think,
yeah, and
especially with like. Go ahead.
No, I think they're trying to build it as one of huge Money in the Bank pay-per-view to bring back the crowds, which I love.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be over.
Oh,
go ahead,
Griffin.
I was going to say, if you told me it's going to be a main event 5 years ago, it would have been sort of thinking we're going, there's no way that's a main event. Kofi's sort of a career mid-carder, which, I mean, he's a great talent, and he was a great world champion, I think. I mean, it wasn't booked particularly well, but I thought he was a great world champion. And Lashley, they tried to push him as main eventer, but it never quite clicked. And I think Kofi is you sort of forget how good he is, because he's in the mid-card all the time, but he deserves this main event run again, I think.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. And then the next night we got NXT. Matt, what's your notes on NXT this week?
Karrion Kross tried to kill Johnny Gargano. Sorry. After Gargano attacked him at the beginning of the show, Kross called him out. Gargano proceeded to have Theory sneak attack him. It didn't go the best, but for some reason, they left, maybe went and grabbed something to eat, came back, and then attacked Kross again as he was leaving. And that's where Kross took both of them out, laid Gargano out in front of his car, and proceeded to run him over. That is the most wild thing I've seen NXT do in a while.
Pretty much setting up Gargano as a face coming in with
as like a squeaky clean baby face now.
Interesting.
The man tried to kill him.
There's a lot of rumors that Kross could be coming up. I think just last night he was getting a tryout match, and now the last couple of weeks he's been getting tryout matches. So you guys think Gargano is the one to take the title off of him for the time being, or are they going to set up someone even bigger to take the title?
I think Gargano is a good pick for the one to beat Kross as a transitional champion, especially since Gargano brought up his tremendous 57-day reign. So we've probably got another short title reign. I have no idea who's going to win it, but I can definitely see Gargano holding it for like a couple of months until someone debuts or something. Maybe the winner of the breakout tournament.
Oh, yeah, it's just coming back. We don't know who's in it so far.
Yeah, they took Kross Reed for his main roster run, so I think I'll take it off Kross as well. And I think Gargano is a reliable top guy who's believable, I think, enough to take it off them.
Yeah, well, you got Cal and Adam facing each other at Great American Bash, was already this upcoming week. So maybe this O'Reilly wins this and goes on to face him, but then it's they like to do rubber matches. Yeah, but they like to do rubber matches, so Adam Cole might get the win right here.
Yeah. I think Adam Cole could get the win, maybe try to go after Gargano, have O'Reilly cost him, lead to the next takeover for their rubber match. Gargano face some up and coming heel. Maybe LA Knight.
Mm.
I
No.
don't think that, but someone that's a decent enough heel,
I think
because we've
Cameron
got the
Grimes would be
best
better for
heel
that.
as North American champion right now.
Oh, and speaking of North American champion, we have a brand new one with Isaiah Swerve Scott. I was surprised that this happened because Bronson just won it a few months ago. But I thought it was awesome. I think Hit Row is something so different, but something like so simple that could have been done years ago. But
It's
they
so
got the right
new.
guys. Yeah, they got the right guys for it. And you can tell like they really loved it. Like this is Isaiah's idea and he's running with it. And I just love it. Like a new North American champion. Sorry, Bronson.
See you on the main roster, Bronson.
Yeah, see you on the main roster. You're ready
Big
for
time.
it. So let's see.
Yeah, see you on the main roster, BR.
Yep. And anything else from NXT this week?
We got new number one contenders for the tag titles.
Yes,
We got Io Shirai and Zoe Stark beating Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, and Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon.
Yes, which is interesting.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was a hell of a triple threat tag match. I think this is going to set up. Sure, I don't think they're going to win it to finally move up to the main roster as well, because Lorraine says that she almost has beating her twice at takeovers, and finally this could be her win over Shirai to send her to main
and
roster.
Move on to main.
Yeah, because they got a lot of women down there, and they need to give a lost spotlight to them.
And they definitely did that triple threat the right way, having one member of each team in the match at once.
Oh yeah,
and not that weird one-on-one, but I'm gonna go in this corner and get tagged out. Never really liked that.
And also, speaking of women, how about that kick that Mercedes Martinez received, knocking her out?
That scared me.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything if she's okay or anything. All I know is that she was taken to the hospital afterwards and was being checked on.
I think it was confirmed that she got a concussion, but hopefully, best of luck, because
that was a nasty fall, and she was still curled up as like she was getting pinned and everything. So that was. I wish Mercedes the quickest recovery.
Yeah, but it was just a freak accident, I think. There's no need to blame Zaya or anything. She looked
not at all.
For herself, so there you go.
Just respect to the ref for stopping the match right away. It was gruesome, and it still could add, like, once she's ready to go, it still adds to a feud. Like, she got knocked out by Xia Li. Xia looks more unstoppable. Maybe eventually,
but Mercedes comes back looking more of a badass as well.
Mm-hmm. So.
Well, Mercedes Martinez has been at it for a long time. Let's not, jump the gun here, shall we say. I think Mercedes Martinez should be on the main roster and help round out on the main roster the women's division, because they need it badly, because, without a women's division, what's the use of having women's tag team champions? There's only, 6 of them there. Bring out Martinez, man. She's really talented.
And she almost got called up as a member of Retribution, but as we see,
so did Mia Yim, though.
Mia Yim, which
and they you notice what they did with her debut. It's still delayed.
Mm-hmm. I have something to say about Mia Yim when we get to SmackDown. And I think the last thing from NXT that I loved was the MSK and Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher promo. Just
Tommaso with the mic is just.
You felt everything they were saying, and even MSK, who, like, I feel like with the CWC crowd, they don't like them for some reason, probably because they were still built up so fast. But I think me, who watched them as the Rascals back in Impact, I'm just like, this is so cool, something new. I like this. And for some reason, they're getting flack for being pushed so fast. But it's different. Like you never seen a tag team come in and win that quick the tag titles, and even the Dusty Classic.
Yeah, that kind
So-
of
That was their debuts.
Yeah, which is crazy. To think about. But yeah, I just love that promo and the little kiss that Ciampa gave one of them at the end was just hilarious
that was
to me.
hilarious.
Yeah,
You bring your pride. You bring those titles
I love that, and
because we're taking both of them.
I think we're speaking about all these call-ups. I think Ciampa's ready. I think
Yes.
he's been ready to be on the main roster. I think, like sad to say, like overstaying your welcome in NXT. Like, I think it's time for him to move up and prove himself in the main roster at this point.
I agree there.
Same.
So after NXT, we got the return to Wednesdays and the final Daily Place AEW show. Griffin, what you got for us there?
Yeah, so this is the last episode AW will take place in Daly's Place because I'll be moving back on the road next week. The Road Ranger event taking place in Miami, Florida. The show opens with quite a surprisingly emotional package in tribute to Daly's Place, where AW's really grown in the past year. They've really made their name in Daly's Place, and there's a lot of memorable moments that maybe even I've forgotten about. So I've listed here the Brody tribute show, Kenny Omega's AEW title win in December, Christian's debut, Sting's debut, the Lights Out match, Snoop Dogg, Mike Tyson, the crowning of the TNT champion. It's just so many classic moments. And the thing I took away from that is that it just killed me to know that Brody Lee will never have a match in AEW in front of any fans. That to me was like, that just made me sort of.
Yeah, it really got me
Back a
when they showed the Brody stuff. Brody was like really one of my favorite guys. Like I really connected to him because he was just so the athlete of, or like, yeah, I'll say the athlete of the Wyatt family, the workhorse. Like he every
Without a doubt.
6-man matches or tag matches he had with Rowan, he busted his ass in every match.
just-
And I was
Just that image on the AEW tribute where I think they have a shot of Miro and he's sort of upset.
oh
and they
yeah,
cut-
I got
and a shot
Oh.
where he's sort of in the side and he's just sort of crying.
Yeah,
He was
stifling
broken.
and
He
crying. It
was.
just breaks my heart every time.
I can't rewatch that show. Like I tried, and every time I try, I just like
Yeah.
get about halfway through, and
When Colt Cabana comes out, it's just so hard to.
I think Bryce Remsburg broke me whenever he was just not there at all. That show gets me every time.
I think
I think it's the perfect tribute show, really.
It is the best tribute show I've ever seen, hands down.
yeah. Yeah. You guys, what would be your guys' favorite moments from the Daily Place shows? Maddie, you want to go?
My favorite stuff from the Daily's Place. I really dug the Darby Allin stuff, like just about everything he's done, whether it be getting thrown in a body bag or jumping from ridiculous heights that he shouldn't. The Dark Order destroying the Elite is something I'll never forget, with Brody Lee holding the TNT title over Cody's broken body. That was awesome. And the debut of Brody Lee as well. That I popped. I threw my drink. I was excited as hell.
And FTR, that's a great debut, I thought. Because just when
That was phenomenal.
nobody speculates on it, so just like, okay, right. I think both Broly's AW TNT title matches with Cody Rhodes were brilliant as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way
In
they
fact,
built
Darby
up the
winning
Dark
too.
Order before they even brought Brody in.
Yeah.
Brody back.
I was getting
So,
behind him as well.
That was it's a great buildup, and then have him. I compare it to almost like Vince McMahon being the higher power to the Undertaker back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
So
digging that.
that debut, or that return to the professional wrestling world, that was probably one of the biggest debuts I've seen in the last decade.
Yeah.
What I also liked this year was Lance Archer's early stuff, in the old arena. Or he threw the guy through the roof as well. That's
Just
highlight for me.
throwing him
Oh,
into
yeah.
the ceiling.
Yeah, that's brilliant. What?
Cody versus
Um,
Archer was phenomenal too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harold, how about you? What are some favorite moments from the Daily Place?
I'd have to go with Matty there with Darby Allin and his stuff. Sting coming back and keeping the name, and all the WWE superstars that kind of quote unquote defected. That tells me that a lot of these WWE people think in their brains that AEW is the better product. So I think you're going to see more of an exodus from WWE into AEW in the coming couple of years.
Probably also important that I mention that AEW did the perfect ending to the show, the video package. And then Jim Ross goes, and that's all from WWE Dynamite. The company, they're doing the invasion. I can't believe they're doing the invasion now.
I missed that because I was
the closing thing is Jim Ross going, I think it's the crowd are cheering because the packaging is like, what's more electric than the crowd from WWE Dynamite? Show goes on. Their big moment.
I didn't get a chance to watch it live, but seeing that ending made me die.
Cheers, Jim. Good work.
Hey, he's not
Also,
quitting though.
Yeah. I don't think he should anyway.
No, definitely not.
Also on the show, we saw the first on-screen fancy for Omega Page. I'm excited for. We saw her on Being Elite a few weeks ago. But, Page was, I think he had like visions of the AEW World title. And this week, Omega was cutting a promo. And Dark Order came out and go, "There's one person you've yet to beat, who's our friend." And Omega says, "If you're thinking of, he won't want you speaking on his behalf." And then Omega sort of dismisses them. And then in a later promo, Adam Page is like, "What are you doing?" I think this is really great, this angle, because it's something I've not seen before. Because what the face normally does is he goes, "I'll fight for all you people." But the issue with Page is he doesn't have enough confidence in himself. He doesn't have the faith in his own belief to win the world title. The Dark Order is trying to support him on, and Page just doesn't know they can win it. But he doesn't believe in himself.
The long-term story, like since they were doing that feud with the Inner Circle, Page didn't have like the confidence. He was always drinking, all that, and then he finds the Dark Order. They help him out a little, but he still doesn't have that confidence. I just love that storytelling. So when he gets that 1, 2, 3 new AEW champion, the place is going to erupt. Wherever that ends up, All Out. I cannot wait to see that.
I'm gonna lie, I honestly hope it's Full Gear, but that's personally me, just because I'm gonna try to be there live.
I think what they should do is they should have Omega win the first match, potentially, and then Page gets another match where maybe he kicks out the one with Angel, kicks out of it for the first time, and then the third match is when we sort of triumphs, because I think they should just space it out even more, perhaps.
Give them the good old Okada Omega feud. I think they could make magic if they did it like that.
Hopefully they spread it apart. I don't want like the next rematch at the next like let Hangman like be really like unconfident with his ability, like and then
they shouldn't do it pay-per-view. They should do sort of last like 4 months break and then another last where it's like, oh, I kicked out the Wing Angels for maybe 2 months. He's finally good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we learned on the Dynamite this week that they've moved the coffin match between Darby Allin and Ethan Page to the next pay-per-view because next week's Road Rage takes place in Miami, Florida, where of course they've had the terrible, catastrophic building collapse.
Yes.
So they think it might be a bit insensitive to put the coffin match there. So they moved the pay-per-view. That's very classy.
I didn't know that was the reason.
So it avoids insensitivity. It's just clever.
I didn't know that was the reason why, but that's.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because it could be
nice.
Tone deaf otherwise. So I think it's smart.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited. I've seen, if you watched on Vice, they had a documentary called The Wrestlers, and it was where this documentary goes around with a couple wrestlers, and there's an episode where he's with Darby and he shows his matches with Ethan Page and Involved, where they had body bag matches and he broke his freaking elbow with a shovel. And I think like they have history together, and I know they're gonna kill it with this coffin match.
It's
Mm,
gonna
probably
be
the last-
brutal.
I'll say it for the billionth time. Let Ethan Page be on his own. He doesn't need Scorpio Sky. I want to see them
Yeah, I agree.
separate.
I think
In the
probably
same
last-
sense, Scorpio Sky doesn't need Ethan Page.
Exactly the same thing. When he won that, they showed it at the highlights of this place when he won the ring, the brass ring.
the
You thought
Face of
this
the
was
Revolution
gonna,
ladder match.
yeah, you thought this was gonna be like Scorpio Sky's ascend as a single star away from SCU, and then Ethan Page comes in and they get in the lines. Like, yeah, I've talked. I feel like a broken record. I've mentioned that all the time. I just love Ethan Page, and I want to see him succeed on his own.
Probably the final note from this AEW Dynamite is that next week we'll see the return of Ricky Starks after going on neck surgery a few months ago. And
No,
we'd also
not
like to send. Is that next?
He's
I thought it
not
was
wrestling next week. He's wrestling in the Texas event.
Oh, maybe he is. Yeah, he's fighting
Yeah,
Brian Cage for the FSW World Title. But either way, he's making a return after a few months away from neck injury.
Hope your neck's good, Ricky. Here's Cage.
crazy.
We should
that
also
already.
send all our thoughts and that to Rebel, who
Oh yeah,
dislocated her kneecap this week.
Oh my God, that's what happened.
yeah. It was so,
It's
that,
like the injury Triple H had in like 2006, where the kneecap sort of goes whoop, goes
Mm,
by the leg.
I've got knee problems, and that scares me.
and I have some complaints about that match, like letting Vicky Guerrero wrestle on AEW, and then how Britt had her submit, and then like immediately after she's back up all perfect, she didn't really sell her the champion's finisher. I didn't really like that, and it's kind of I don't like. I think Britt was such a great heel. Let's keep her as a heel, and let's build up a baby face to face.
Now, I don't get the feud. I think Nyla's supposed to be the badass babyface. I think that's what they're doing.
But now
but
she's
think
putting her
so.
through a table.
But Britt's
For the pops.
Britt's so popular as a heel that they're going to cheer her. So I can't tell who's the face. I don't know if it's Britt. I'm very confused.
Like why? Like build up a baby face like Chris Statlander, Ty Conti, like somebody to feud with Britt, and then it's like I don't like we get to like they build up some women in the division and then they disappear on Dark for a while. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, like Abaddon.
Like showed up a couple weeks on Dynamite. People were scared of her, and then she's gone. Yeah, it's like
Abaddon's the shit. I've seen her a couple times.
Kind of weird.
If there's any issue in AEW that's most prevalent, it's obviously the women's division.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else for AEW this week?
I think I'm just building towards the next few live shows.
Okay. And well, yeah, everything right now is just like let's get you excited for our crowds coming back, which I love. And then we got Impact. I'm gonna run through the card. We don't have our expert here today, but we'll try to do our best for him. We got Kojima and Jake Something versus Brian Myers and Sam Beal. It's setting up. It was supposed to be Kojima versus Eddie Edwards, but then he was taken out by W. Morrissey, and then Brian Myers and Beal came out to talk smack to Kojima, and it set up an impromptu tag match. I really like this match. Myers has been killing it after being released. He's a whole different star, and the whole like I'm the most professional wrestler. Here's my student. He needs to learn stuff. Like I absolutely love this stuff, and I can't wait for where this goes. And like you see, Sam Beal's like nobody, and he's in the ring with Kojima. Like this is great. Absolutely, but he can hold his own against the legend.
I like that they
Kojima.
kept Kojima Edwards because I like how they put that off. I think that should be at Summerversary.
Yeah, that should be that's pay-per-view worthy right there.
100%. That match is going to actually be really good for the pay-per-view, I think.
And then Rachel Ellery with Jazz defeated Tennille Dashwood. And then we got Grace coming back to save her friend, and they gave a hug, stretching out the eventual heel turn that we were talking about last week. Hopefully, that's where this goes from now. And one thing to point out, we had the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo was on BTI, and we don't know still who she's gonna face at Slammiversary. Nobody's been really like built for her as of late. It's kind of weird right there. And then Falaba and TJP versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack ended in a no contest because Bound by Design came out to attack them out by setting up a triple threat for Slammiversary, which I'm excited to see Rich Swann and Willie Mack potentially get their tag title run that they didn't get. And then we have Chris Bay turning face now, which is a brand new, which is a different side of Chris Bay we've never seen. He joined the alliance of Trey Miguel, Josh Alexander, and Petey Williams that they've been teasing for weeks. Like, what side are you on? Kind of weird to see like an Ultimate X match being set up with alliances. Like, it's every man for themselves. Let's just make it every man for themselves, not alliances, which is probably going to set up a huge 6-man, 8-man tag eventually before Slammiversary. And then some of the funny moment, it was like a quick backstage segment with Kimberly and Susan, and then Kimberly says, "Oh, we got a backup plan. How about Sue Young?" And Susan says, "Who's that?" I just love that. Like, Susan has been quite hilarious as of late.
She's been on fire. I want that professional wrestle me right now on a shirt.
Yeah, she just has had social media moments every week, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Steve Macklin doing quick work of Manny Smith. I really like that. Steve Macklin, the former Steve Cutler, is getting moments to shine. We never really got to see what he had to offer. He was only in the tag team and used as like a enhancement talent in NXT back in the Hulu era before NXT was on the network. Like, you saw Cutler as the enhancement talent, so it's great to see him kill it and see where this brings him. And then finally, the main event, Omega and the Good Brothers versus Sami Callihan, Moose, and Chris Sabin. I love how like Moose didn't want to tag himself in, and they all said they all have the common goal to take out Omega, but then he pretty much cost them the match and adds to Sabin's feud. We didn't see much of Callihan versus Omega in this match, just to save them for the big match at Slammiversary. You guys think Callihan can take the title from Omega, or will it be someone bigger?
I genuinely don't know. I think Callihan has a good chance of taking it, but I kind of want to see Moose take it just because Moose has been putting in the work. Moose has been busting his ass to get to where he has been the past year or so.
Yep.
But I could totally see Callihan taking it.
I think it could go either way. I don't know if maybe it's smart to make Omega drop it before he'll get more annoyed about it. I really couldn't say.
Yeah. And yeah, another episode where nothing big happened, but just to set up the big pay-per-views coming up, which is really, or big crowd shows coming up, just exciting stuff all around. And then we have SmackDown where Jimmy Uso is trying to prove to Roman that he could take out Edge. It's kind of different, like Uso's being kind of obnoxious, like, "Hey, I'm doing this for Roman, and then he just gets taken out by Edge with his pipe or the piece of chair on his mouth. Interesting, yeah. But could he do that in a one-on-one match without being DQ'd? That's the thing too. And weird to see Jay missing. I wonder what this is going to lead to. Are we going to get a brother versus brother feud for the love of Roman or something? Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. And then Bianca challenging Bayley to an I Quit match, which I think, think of the year Bianca's had, winning the Rumble, winning the main event of night one of WrestleMania, killing it in a Hell in a Cell match, and now going to a night quit match. Like the year this woman's having, wow, just
I can see her
you
being
know,
in the top 5 like wrestlers of the year.
oh, man,
Honestly, like she's been having a phenomenal year.
she's on the track of being number one in my book. Like,
Yeah,
I feel that Bailey's one of the best characters right now. Just her
100%.
character, just so
This rivalry is
entertaining.
really good.
Saying that,
and
I think this should be probably one of the, if not the last match in the feud. I feel like maybe they don't want to have it too many matches because it feels like the division's quite weak in SmackDown. And I feel like they should put a new challenger in Bianca's way.
No, yeah, it should set up something new because Bailey even said, "Oh, I'll quit WWE. I'll quit SmackDown." So probably this is gonna keep Bailey off TV for a while. Maybe hopefully send her to Raw. I hope. I think Raw is something different for her. Her and Rhea has never been done. I think she's done everything she could do on SmackDown. I think Raw, with the character she has, would be fresh. And yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm not complaining about another Bianca and Bailey match. They've killed it every time they've wrestled.
I agree with your statement that Bailey to Raw would be a good idea. Like they could totally rehash her versus Asuka because that was a really good feud in NXT, I thought.
We've never had fully a Becky and Bailey feud at all in NXT and WWE.
I think you're right.
And they were always on different shows. I think they kind of teased it when she won at WrestleMania both titles. We had Becky 2 belts, but we never had that. So I think that could be Becky's first feud back from her leave of absence. And then we got the last man standing match, which, wow, for free TV, and these guys beating the crap out of each other, calling back all their old spots from when the whole the Helova kick into a hug and then back into the corner into a kick. I really thought Sammy was going to win this. I was hoping he was winning this because he's been on fire as of late, and Owens has been teasing that he's been wanting time off, and I was expecting this would be the way to write him out, but we're getting Owens at Money in the Bank. So what's your guys' thoughts on this amazing last man standing match?
I thought what they might do here is I thought Sami Zayn would hit an amazing sort of unbelievable move, and then that would be Owens being written off TV. But not the case. Surprised me.
Yeah, go
I think
on.
This was
Oh, go ahead.
I think this was the match that they should have had at the pay-per-view. I don't know why this was used as a qualifying match for a Money in the Bank ladder match. This is totally a pay-per-view match, but
or why beat the crap out of your opponent to qualify for another match that's going to put you through.
That's just going to beat the shit out of you more.
Yeah.
The thing is, people like Drew and AJ, they got a Money in the Bank qualifying match because they lost another match. These two get a chance at Money in the Bank because they won a last man standing match. Seems relatively unequal to me.
And knowing Owens, he's gonna do something crazy at Money in the Bank. Go through like a stack of ladders or some shit. Like he's gonna
take that ladder while it's on its side, isn't he?
Yeah, they're gonna go crazy. But yeah, Owens does the best, and maybe we'll get another last opportunity match with the SmackDown dudes, and that's where Zayn gets added to match because I really want to see him in that match. And then the most, I believe, talked about moment last night was the return of Zelina Vega. I was when I heard Sonya say Zelina, I was smiling. I thought like they shouldn't have fired her for what she said, and I just love that she's getting another opportunity to shine. She lost, but it's building up Liv too. So what's your guys' thoughts on Zelina returning to WWE?
I thought this was really weird.
Well kept secret.
Good or weird?
If she's returning and she loses, I mean, I understand about the put up Liv thing, but it seems a bit. Wait, couldn't she beat somebody else? Maybe. I thought it was,
Yeah.
welcome back
I-
to Zelina, who immediately loses.
I think I see it as they're building up Liv to potentially win the Money in the Bank because
Yeah.
she like I feel like next week we're gonna see Sonya announce someone else. I hope it's Mia Yim for the third spot in the women's, and then Liv comes out, complains one more time, and then and then she beats Mia. She's still not added to the match, and then finally she gets a spot in the ladder match to win the whole thing. I think this is building up Liv for the push she's been deserved since last year when she was on her own with that weird.
You were Brock
long
Lesnar,
feud.
just turn up halfway through. Hello, I'm in the match now. You have to let me win.
Yeah. So I like it. I love Selena.
That worked for Lesnar, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
and they're building, and think about it, they're building her up like she's winning so many matches but doesn't qualify. That's gonna get the crowd to go for her even
Yes.
more in Texas for Money in the Bank. Like they're gonna be behind her 100%. I think they hopefully know what they're doing in this match. So yeah, that's about it for wrestling this week. I wanted to bring up one point, and I want to kind of argue with you guys on this. WWE released episodes of the top 50 tag teams, and you guys, I know, you
Nothing
guys,
against the New Day.
No, but
No. The New Day
I'm
are
sorry,
good.
but
They're reliable, okay?
there were
I'm
tag
sorry.
teams
Against
that should have
them.
been on the list that weren't in the list. That's what pissed me off about it.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think as of late, New Day is the greatest tag team in WWE. If you think WWE as a whole, tag team
All time?
all
No.
time. I think.
No.
I think so. I'm sorry to say, I think so.
The
What tag team?
Dudleys.
The Dudleys have held. The
Demolition.
Dudleys made
Come
a
on.
bigger name for themselves in ECW. They held every tag team in other companies. In WWE, yes, Edge and Christian. What have they done more than just the TLC matches on their own? Like not as a tag team. What else have they done? The Hardys, yes, they are one of the greatest tag teams.
But Jeff's
But I
no
think
more as a single star.
Jeff's
the
popularity overshadows the Hardys.
I've got the list up. I'll go for the top 10, should I? Okay, so number 1's the New Day. 2's the Hardys. 3's the Hart Foundation. 4 is Ed and Christian. 5 is the Dudleys. 6 is Legion of Doom. 7 is Usos. 8 the New Age Outlaws. 9 Brothers of Destruction. And 10 is the British Bulldogs.
British Bulldogs.
Where was Demolition? I know they were on the list.
Demolition was 11.
On the list.
11.
Yeah, they're 11.
What
they
did
did
The
higher than that.
Undertaker and Kane do other than win like 2 sets of tag titles?
Yeah,
And
that's
always
where,
fight.
That's where I don't know. And then I think they're in AEW, but come on, FTR. I think they're top.
The
50
Revival,
tag team.
yeah.
They were missing, and a lot of people like Jericho was included. They're both in AEW.
Wait, they were
Um,
fucking included?
They were 35, and they were only a few months. That
We
was
all
kinda
know
weird.
the Bushwhackers are number 1.
Bushwhackers
Number
never
50,
held a
but
tag.
they should be number
But
1.
okay, but the New Day, 11-time tag champions. What tag team as a unit still together won the WWE title?
Admittedly, they
won
were
at
there.
WrestleMania,
No, admittedly, they were there through times where the tag division was pretty crap. Yeah.
and they made it
Griffith
work.
has a point.
They made it work every time they were tag
They're
teams.
sort of like something like the Smoking Guns, who are, even in times of bad tag teams, they were like the one tag team that was always there to be reliable, I guess. So I understand that.
But they had great matches with the Usos, FTR, the Bar, like even makeshift tag teams like the Bludgeon Brothers, like
Cesaro and Nakamura.
Cesaro.
For no reason were they good against them. And the New Day versus the Street Profits were amazing.
We had a tease of that, and we still haven't like fully got that because they weren't in the same roster together. So we still have that like left for them, and like they're still together. Think about it. 2014, 7 years now. 7 years. If you really think
I'm just
about
glad
it,
they haven't split up yet.
Edge and Christian were only together for about 3. Like they're a unit. They could still be together. And like, I just gotta say, Kofi Mania. That's it.
That's
Like,
in terms of merchandise, New Day would top that, wouldn't they?
And-
Because they're
and
big,
look,
big merch sells to kids.
they were given a preaching gimmick, and they were
made it
like,
work.
and they made it work. And then they were like, oh, you guys should be more serious. And they said, you know what? I listened to their podcast. I know their story, so I'm like, trying to say what they think about, and like they did it their way. And I think pure WWE,
And that was the best way they could.
yeah,
Yeah.
best pure WWE tag team. I think it's the New Day. Like it surpassed. Like you think Kofi before a New Day, I think his career with the New Day surpassed everything he's done.
What would the rest of you say then for the greatest tag team in WWE?
I already
Matt,
said
what'd
the
you say?
Dudleys. I already said
Yeah.
the Dudleys, but
Even
I was about to say
Demolition
I was about to say,
Harold, yeah.
is it WWE or is it all time?
It's WWE because they
WWE's
say
greatest tag teams, yeah. So I'm sure it's
Okay.
within.
they give shout outs to tag teams outside of WWE, like the Freebirds, Harlem Heat, other like tag teams from WCW, ECW.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't know who I'd make top. Maybe the Hart Foundation. I'm a big Rick
Freebirds.
Martel.
There's another contender for number 1, the Freebirds. What about them?
but it's WWE. They never were.
I mean, they were
WWE.
there for like a month.
If
and
we
like
are
a
if we
minute.
are going just on WWE, I do think I have to agree with the New Day then. I'm not
And
that
Well-
upset about it.
Well, I'm a huge mark for both Tito Santana and Rick Martel personally. That's just myself. I love
Strike Force.
No, that's genuinely. I do really like Strike Force.
I got
Almost
you.
too much.
They were a great tag team though. They
Yeah.
were phenomenal together.
Yeah,
I think-
yeah.
Yeah, I think the British Bulldogs. Watching what's it called? The Dark Side of the Ring of Dynamite Kid. You really think they weren't in WWE for
Oh, yeah.
that long?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
top 10, number 10. I don't know about that. They added a lot of 70s, early 80s tag teams in the top 20, like Mr. Fuji and Taro Tanaka, the Wild Samoans, Valiant Brothers.
You're right there.
Ooh, that
Look at that.
figure was at my Target for years. Just that we call
I think he had some kind of red shirt or something, but I've lost. I don't know what that is. It's probably somewhere on the floor.
yeah that was at stores for years, and there's like
I mean,
a story
They've got
behind it.
a strong mullet game going on there, haven't they?
Great.
Speaking of
That's
strong
a
mullet
great-
game, have you guys seen Kyle O'Reilly starting to get his mullet on?
Oh,
I just
Very
watched
cool.
NXT like the past 2 hours ago, and he's starting to get that nice little ducktail going with them shaved sides.
Well, I wrote wrestling, and I've asked somebody who doesn't really watch wrestling. They know of it, but they're not actually. I went, you should do top 10 mullets in wrestling. And I thought that's stupid.
and now
And I
they do
realized
top 10
that's a
everything
brilliant
else.
list.
That's some great ones. And then we got guys
As-
who are bringing it
as-
back, like on Impact
Brian
too.
Pillman Jr.
Brian Pillman Jr.
As long as all top 10 are Mike Awesome, it'll be a good list.
Austin has a great mullet. I'd put
But as for the tag teams thing, which we were supposed to be talking about,
another
yeah.
great discussion we can do. Another day we bring in our best mullets and we'll argue which one.
So,
But yeah, I like a lot of the things were iffy, but like I think if really think about a New Day, because you're looking at all the other guys, like they're still together, 7 years strong, and a lot of the other top 5, besides the Dudleys, like the other guys went on to do better things. Jeff overpassed Matt in popularity. Brett was even better as a single star. Edge is most
Miles above
champ.
Christian.
miles above Christian, even though I'm always a peep
Yeah.
at heart. And and then even Bubba did his own thing in Impact. Like
yeah, basically what happens is I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't know who I'd put number 1. So I'm not going to be like, oh, WWE's wrong. I just, if that's what they put, yeah, fine. I don't really doesn't really affect me because I don't know who I for anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
If
gonna
you
get
look
angry
at their
about
time together, though, you have to give it to the Dudleys because they've been together like pretty much their whole career, right?
just that few years in Impact,
Yeah.
which I was when they came back to WWE, I was hoping we'd get a Bully Ray return, but
That was rumored. That was rumored.
I was hoping for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a nice little argument, and you know, this is comes towards the end of the show. We recapped everything. Please follow us on Twitter, wrestle_buddy. Check out our website, WrestleBuddy. Check out our YouTube, WrestleBuddy. We just interviewed Danny Limelight, right?
On Wednesday.
Great guy. He was phenomenal.
Nice. What a nice fella, man. Like he told it like it is, and he told it like it is in a good way. It was like he was
Be sure to catch his movie.
Joe Ribb, yes. His trailer dropped Friday, by the way.
And Neil Harper interview we got there. We're hoping to get more people on the way.
Yeah.
Great guy, great positive dude. And please subscribe, like everything. And we'll see you guys next week. I'm at True Critch. Maddie.
I'm at Matthew_Laws_. Y'all have a great day.
I'm at the Red Cupid 61. Peace and love. Pass it on. Keep rocking, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm at Griffin K1.
And that's all for today. Thanks, everybody. See you guys
Have a good
next
week.
week.